Hello and welcome back to Galactic Goddess Podcast. I'm your host, Radhaa, and today we have with us Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Amanda is an energy healer. She's an angel activator, and she's a co-author of Energy Healing and Soul Medicine. And today we're doing a short but sweet little conversation and deep dive into Amanda's story of her experience of dealing with a destiny swap issue. So welcome, Amanda. Let's just dive right in.
Yeah, let's dive right in because this last week has really been a whirlwind, I think, for the both of us because you've been a part of my journey. And it's really amazing. I want people to know that, when things aren't going right in their life, there could be energetic blockages, not just from past lives and not just from karma and, trapped emotions and trauma, but also there could be literally people working against you, for the last few years and maybe even before that. But in my awareness, I've had in the last few years, I've had people like putting spells on me, hexes, all of that kind of stuff that I've kind of that has been shown to me. So I get these downloads, and even when I'm working with other people, it's usually things that obtain to my life as well. So I'll see like a vision, or I'll hear something, or I might feel something in my body. But the last few years, I have been shown by my guides that I've had a coven of witches putting spells on me. And there's quite a few people that are doing this, three that I know of, or three have been shown to me. And it's pretty interesting because I am a twin flame, and these individuals do not want my twin flame and myself together. We are united. We are married. And for some other people, it was truly their destiny or their purpose to keep us apart. So in the Twin Flame Collective, if you're not familiar with that, that's all about twin flames reuniting. Not everyone's going to reunite in this life because that's not their timeline or their blueprint, but I think we're the first wave of twin flames. We're actually the original twin flames, my divine counterpart and myself. And so we do have a huge mission here on Earth. And so a lot of people try to block that. That's their job.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of so the twin flame, as a collective, we have a huge purpose, but we are here to raise the Earth's vibration, its frequency, the Earth's unconditional love for the planet, for humanity, for people. And so people that go against that and aren't in the same vibrational frequency, they tend to work against it. Now, it may not always be, like conscious, right? It could be from their subconscious. I'm not quite sure how they work. However, I have been told, I was shown by my guides along that I had this coven of witches, and I'm like, gosh, like what is up with them? Like, I don't know why they keep like attacking me. And I am attacked. I'm attacked while I'm sleeping. I am attacked daily. Demons do come to me. A lot of times they come to me to be transmuted because they know I'm an angel and I can do that. But I did have a demon come to me because it was sent to me to do me harm. And because of who I am, the demons can't hurt me. So I just was asking questions. And so I was shown this person did intend for me to be hurt by this demon. And they said that if I didn't put a stop to it and block this individual, that they would continue to do so over and over and over. And then it was shown to me that she was part of the coven of witches. And I thought, oh, there's that missing piece. So sometimes as energy healers, we don't always get the full picture. We get what we need to know right at that moment. What'd you say?
So there's kind of like puzzle pieces. Like you'll get a clue here, you'll get a clue there.
Yep. And eventually, eventually,
But
like you start with the border, right?
yeah.
And you start putting in the picture. So it's very fascinating to me because I help a lot of people, but just because I'm an energy healer does not mean that I don't get attacked. Doesn't mean that my life is perfect by any means, because I feel like I have to go through my own stuff, so I know how to help other people. So, let's see, where do we want to go from here? Because I know it's a long story. We have a
Yeah.
really short amount of time right
Well, I
now.
think let's talk about, okay, I think it's important to talk about why people try to destiny swap, what they get out of it, how they choose you,
Yeah.
and maybe, how can you start getting some clues if somebody's trying to do so. And, it depends if we have time, we might have to do another one for how
Yeah.
to, you know.
Well, I know you and I are so passionate about this subject that we've created a whole kind of podcast series on
Yeah.
this. So it's like, okay, where do we start? Because everything's kind of juicy, right? Rada and I were, we were kidding around the other day, and we were asking, like, why do they attack us? And she said, because we're so juicy. So we really like that. Like, we're so juicy, and we are. They want to suck us
Yeah.
dry. Our
But you
energy,
can.
our finances, our
Mhm.
everything and above, right? So one of the things is, I think the most important thing today is talk about just protecting yourself from these people, because you can have crystals, you can clear yourself. There's other things that you can do. Like Rada had a great idea by like in the shower, just washing yourself with like salt, because that also helps. Taking Epsom salt baths, detoxing, of course, drinking a ton of water. Um, Having a clean diet, I feel, is really
Mhm,
helpful as well.
mhm,
When you're eating a lot of processed foods, I feel like, and your cells are kind of vibrating at a low vibration, you can be attacked more
mhm,
frequently and more often because your immune system isn't working optimally. So drinking a lot of water. I drink fulvic and humic acid every day, which I feel like really helps keep my inner self grounded,
mhm,
and helps release toxins, and gives me all the body minerals that I need for the day. So that has really helped me. The other thing is, like, Rada suggested, like wearing a hat to cover your crown chakra, keeping like socks on your feet, even like while you're sleeping, so that you're not attacked. That
mhm.
way, Rada, do you want to explain a little bit more about that? Because that was the first time I
Yeah,
had heard about that. And I know, you see other people like in different religions, they have their head coverings on,
yeah,
and you think, why? But it makes
yeah.
so much sense to protect your energy, your divine energy.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
because your crown is a portal, and that's like, if you're praying, if you're connecting with the divine, that's a portal to the divine. If you are connecting to the demonic realm, that's a portal to the demonic realm. But that's the place that the enemy likes to attack, because if they can get into the crown, they like to siphon also things from us, because again, we're juicy. So they want to know what's on the other side. They want to know what's happening. They want information. They want to astral travel into your field, into your home at night when you're sleeping. And I know it sounds really weird, but wearing socks, like little footies at night, is very helpful, because your feet are portals. And when I used to have a healing practice that was in person, a lot of the shifting and transmutation, believe it or not, was like through the feet. And I
Yeah.
would I used to hold the bottom of people's
Hmm.
heels. Like,
Hmm.
we would work together in front of each other, like, and then they would lay on the table, and a lot of the stuff would get cleared through the portals of their feet, and it would clear all the way up to the crown. And so what I have to say about that is, at nighttime, this is when they're working. And I know it sounds far-fetched, like, who really does this? But you have to understand that our society has been grooming generations
Hmm.
to be black magicians. Like, they've
Hmm.
really been promoting that satanic lifestyle in every possible way.
Hmm.
And so it's our friends, it's our family, it's our coworkers. They see something, if they see something inside you, they see that light inside of you, and they
Hmm.
know that, like, you have that innocence inside you, and they no longer have it, not because everyone can have innocence, but they choose to embody the demonics because they feel that actually it's gonna make them stronger, right? They think it's some kind of a secret to success. At least that's how it is for my cousin. And so they work at night. That's when they work, or really midnight. So I can start to feel if they're doing their work. And then I'm just saying, nope, you have to say no. You have to go to creator's court. You have to say I don't consent. There's many things you need to do, but this is only for those who can feel. And if you're a sensitive, you will feel it. Now, if you're like, well, I don't think that's happening for me, well, then great, it's not
Mhm.
happening for you. That let this just be an entertainment purposes only.
Mhm.
But for those that are really understanding that something is not right, they feel like they should be living a bit of a different life. There are certain blockages, whether it be financial or in relationship, and see, they do always want to block your relationship, and my cousin was adamant about blocking my relationship the whole time because that is a form of control. Because when you're in divine union, you're usually pretty way more high vibration. The protection of being together as one goes to a whole new level, and so they can like pull so much more out of you. They think, quote unquote, think when you're separated. So they always want to separate divine souls because they know the missions are big, and their whole agenda is to stop your mission from moving forward. And how do you what do you have to say about that, Amanda?
Well, a few things. One is it takes a team of them
Yeah,
to
right.
stop us.
Oh.
Honestly, it can't just be by one person. It has to
Mhm.
be, and they do. There's a lot of people that have been in my life since I was really young that literally was, I don't want to say they were jealous of me, maybe envious. And I never
Mhm.
understood that because I'm like so authentic and I just love, I don't want to say I love everybody, but like I really have, I mean, now as I'm older, I have a genuine love for everybody. But even back when I was younger, I always looked for the good in everybody. And
Mhm.
not, I don't want to say I was naive because I wasn't naive. I grew up in Seattle. I had a lot of street smarts. However, um, I was raised in a household that we just told the truth to each other. And
Mhm.
so, and lying wasn't acceptable.
Mhm.
So, when I had friends that lied, I was like, I didn't understand the reasoning behind it. I felt really attacked. I'm like, why would they lie to me? Like, just tell me the truth. I can get over it so much easier than if I have to try to like
Mhm.
put the pieces together and be a detective and all of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but lying and gaslighting, I mean, those are like the number one things that people do. Or they could be your best friend and build you up, and then they're secretly tearing you down behind your back. So
Mhm.
that's kind of what's been happening with me lately. But I have had a lot of people literally try to be me, try
Mhm.
to be with, like, be friends with me, but then they want to, like, be with like my partner or an ex, or, and I'm like, gosh, like it's so crazy. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, Rod, and I kept thinking like, oh, there's this person and that person and this person and that person where they've been friends with me, and then some of them have been friends with me to get close to me just so that they can be with the person I was with at that time. And it was pretty crazy to think back. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, gosh, that's pretty crazy. But it has been happening for, I mean, over I would say 30 years. I
Mhm.
mean, it's crazy, right?
Not really. I actually think that when you do have a purpose, and like, I think a lot of light workers, my dog must be transmuting. He's like throwing up over here.
Oh
I
no.
know a lot of light workers actually they see there's this thing called soul stalking. And
Mhm.
so you think about the entity that embodies these people. Like when my cousin attacks me and she's crazy the way she talks. And like, it's not doesn't even sound human. It sounds like a mentally ill person. And it's a demon, and it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
demon working through her. But then that demon can jump. It's a jumper. But she also agreed to embody it because she's so obsessed with power and she's so materialistic. Like she would sell her mother's gravestone for money, and so that's the thing. You have to be that that way in a sense. You know, like they want something and they'll do anything to get it. And it's because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they're worthy of obtaining
Yeah.
this naturally. They don't
Yeah.
believe that they can do this on their own with it, with the help of the divine. Like, you know, good things take time. Nothing great happens overnight. You can't build something great, you know, overnight. There's no such thing as a, but you know, these people, she wants quick fame. She wants, you know, her dream was to be Beyonce. And but look, it's not happening because look, you know, like they get so obsessed with taking you down, it takes all their creativity away from them. And that's a problem, is most of these people that thought they were gonna get next level Beyonce fame, they end up just being gang stalkers for the rest of their life, you know? It's so
Mhm.
sad.
Yeah, it's sad, and they hurt a lot of people
They hurt
along the way. A
they
lot of
hurt
people
so many people, and there's
that
nothing funny
that
about
really truly love them,
that
right?
really love them because they don't care
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
They don't care about anybody. They start to become sociopaths because they continue to do things. First, they start hurting bugs, and then they start hurting animals, and then they start physically hurting whoever else they can. You know, it's like a gateway drug. They just keep it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the hit is never enough. They're starting to get high off of hurting people.
Yeah, and I know Rod and I, we have a passion about helping other people. And one of the things is like we're starting this podcast to help others feel like they're not in the twilight zone and they're not
Mhm.
crazy. Because sometimes I'm like, am I crazy? Like, how? I just don't understand. Like, if you guys knew everything that I go through on a day-to-day basis and everything that I've gone through in my life. I mean,
Mhm.
most people are like, how are you even standing? Like,
Mhm.
how are you able to even have a smile on your face? How are
Mhm.
you able to be happy? How are you able to see the joy and be optimistic? And I said, and I always say it's a choice. I choose to be happy. um there are people that would be in my situation that would just complain and probably never get out of bed again. But that's not me. So I'm like, oh, you want to shoot me down, I'm gonna prove you wrong, kind of thing. And but anyway, so one of the things is, when I was talking to Radha last week about my situation, she was just like, "Oh my gosh, this reminds me of destiny swapping." And then I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was just like this, like it just was like one of those aha moments. And I muscle tested and I was like, that's exactly what it was. Like that's exactly
Mhm.
what it is. And I don't know if prior to speaking to you about it, if I had ever heard destiny swapping. So I've heard of other things, but that was that was new to me. And so I thought, okay, so that's why we thought, let's get on a podcast. Let's just kind of talk about some of these things and how we've been affected. And we have firsthand knowledge of this. And but because of that, and because Rod is a healer, I'm a healer, we want to talk about it. But then if you're having some of these same things happening to you, we want to create kind of a protocol to help you through that.
Mhm.
So we are going to offer some healing sessions in the near future, so that you can have one-on-one healings with us, which we've never opened that up to anybody before. So it's
Mhm.
a very unique situation, and it's not going to last forever. It's going to be
Yeah.
pretty short
Yeah.
lived, but we want people to kind of get to the other side where we are right now.
Yes.
So I know we said we were only going to talk for just a short time, 15 minutes. And we could put information in the description on. Well, I guess, are they able to comment under the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You can comment on the podcast. I'll put Amanda's info, my info, and then we'll put something probably together.
Yeah.
And
Well, I was
also,
just curious if if people could, like, maybe write their questions, or even give us a little description of maybe if they're going through the same thing, or if they're going through the same thing, how are they handling it, or if
yeah,
they would like help.
exactly. I think that support is very important during this time. And, you know, we're not here to spiritually bypass it and just say rise above it, because
Mhm.
the entanglements are so, so deep. in these situations. They're not just like, somebody said a mean thing to me. You know,
Mhm.
they are literally trying to do bindings and bindings and bindings. And of
Mhm.
course, inevitably, that stuff
Mhm.
will not work on you in the long run. You're
Mhm.
meant for something great. But you
Yeah.
know what? We all need a helping hand sometimes.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you know, I did not know what was going on for such a long time. I was in the dark. It was through prayer and asking and
Yeah.
talking to other people like, wow, you're going through that too. You know, this
Yeah.
conversation is important because you realize how many people are going through this where their life has been infiltrated. And that doesn't mean that these people can take you down forever, because they cannot. Actually, they can't.
Mhm.
And you know, but in the meantime, they create a lot of trouble if you don't know what's going on. And so we're here to just bring awareness, because I do not believe in spiritual bypassing or
Yeah.
or just like positive, vibes only, because I've been like that my whole life. And then if you don't acknowledge the dark, you are actually empowering it. I
Mhm.
repeat, if you do not acknowledge the dark, you are empowering it. It is by bringing things to the light that we
Mhm.
transmute it. We are
Yeah.
we are shadow workers.
Mhm.
We don't just play in the field of light, because that's not also balance. Like, you have to have a balance within yourself, your own light and dark. And that's why I tell everybody it's also important to do shadow work, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, there has to be a balance within yourself.
Yeah.
So, um, I did have an idea when you were talking, and it flew out of my brain. So, uh, so yeah, let's get out of the twilight zone. Let's get out of thinking that we're crazy because nobody else understands you except for yourself. And you know, um, people that I talk to, they're like, Are you sure about that? Like, it sounds kind of crazy." I'm like, "I know it sounds crazy, but this is the truth. This is really what it is." So, we don't want you to feel crazy or be crazy or be told
Well,
you're crazy.
that's what the enemy wants too.
Yeah.
They actually,
Yeah.
so they will literally take all their mental illness and
Hmm.
projectile vomit it to you if you
Yeah.
let them. And the key, once like that, my cousin was doing that on a very everyday basis until I was like, nope, 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 nope. Not just return to center, but more, judgment. So you have the power to call judgment in your life and over people who are bringing harm to you and your family, to your love life, to your finances, to your happiness, to your health, to your well-being. In any way, shape, or form, you have a right to your sovereignty. You didn't come on this planet just to be abused, just to be pulled apart, just to have people infiltrate you. You can say no. And so we're going to really go into the how, and
Hmm.
we're actually going to go into the why, more of the why, and many of the different things that they've done, because it's like a lot of it's been reverse engineering, like figuring out what are they doing, and then realizing, oh, once I started to realize what they're doing,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, well, now I can clear that out, because once
Hmm.
you know, you can clear it out.
Well, and that's the other thing I remembered what I wanted to say. That's the other thing, is that these entities, demons, you know, dark workers, they will never have your light and they'll never have your life. So that's
Mhm,
what they want to do is they want so badly to attach themselves to you to
mhm,
have your life
mhm,
and a lot of demons and negative entities will attach themselves to you as a small child because
mhm.
they come when we're very vulnerable and we've had trauma and
Yeah.
then you just have those demons attached to you for since then and they just attach themselves to you and they cause problems and you just don't even know they can cause pain in your body, they can cause headaches, they can cause nausea, like
Uh-huh.
all these things can be not your own stuff. So just always ask yourself, is this even mine, if you're suffering from different things. But they will never have a body, so they don't care whose body they're in, but
Mhm.
they do cause a lot of destruction.
Yeah, they really, really don't care. And I think it's comical when these people think they're so profound and special because they know how to conjure demons. Like my cousin literally told me as a threat. And I'm like, wow, I'm so sorry to break it to you, but they don't care who you are. Like, they'll use your body and destroy your life and discard you, and they're on to the next.
On to the
You
next
know,
because
it-
they've been around forever and we only have so much time in this body.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so we have to do the best we can. So that's why we're here right now to help our listeners. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you're aligning with what we're saying, if you're kind of saying, hey, this has happened to me, reach out to us so that we can help you, and follow along so you can listen to the next podcast when it's uploaded.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you enjoyed this really short conversation today where we just want to pop in and say hello and let you know what was up. And we are sending you all so much love and blessings. And we're just here to remind you that you have the power. The power is in your hands, the power is in your heart. Don't lose your faith, and to carry on, because it does get so much better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So thank you for joining us today. Until next time, much love and blessings. Bye for now.